all of these wonderful people who have made it such a pleasure to be here in your beautiful country. Especially the Corellis family. If you those of you who know the Corellises know
George's family.
that they are in charge.
Colovas.
So, what can I tell you? Tula brought me here and introduced me to her sister Yana and Yana's husband Taki. And ever since I've been here, they have treated me like a slightly dim nephew. And it's been watch your step and use the handrail and watch your head. This door is low. I mean, this door is low. This door is 4 feet high. Okay, and I'm not gonna, And today was the best example. Outside the church today, Tula and Yana are there, and they handed me a bag of rice to throw at the bride and groom, and they said, "Make sure you take it out of the bag before you throw it." What? Uzo. Yes. I don't know. Taki wants me to drink some Uzo. Not yet. Wow, that could happen.
I can't believe it happened.
And then we have gunslinger John Corrales. Those of you who were at the village party last night will remember John from the pop, 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 pop that happened every once in a while. There were also some fireworks. They were like big ones, but they were down the street. I suspect him of those too. And John and his sister Tula have, again, taken me under their wing. I think we went to dinner every night. And it was just such a wonderful experience to get to know the village and all the people who were so friendly and so nice. There's Tassos, all right? And now I'm feeling bad. Is it Stavros? What? Costa, yes. And all of them have there's nothing like Greek hospitality. It's been the most wonderful experience. So thank you.
Oh, yay!
And thank you to my family and friends who have come here, sometimes from huge distances, to be here with me. My brother Dennis and his girls, Elizabeth, Catherine, and Emily, and Annie. Thank you. I'm old. I can't remember everything. And the Donbecks, who came all the way from Chicago, and let's see, and so many others. Too many to mention. The Pratts. Where are you? There they are. Bobby, yeah, that's right. Bobby and Alicia and Danny Pratt. Danny, by the way, she went to college with my daughter. And if those two couldn't get into trouble, nobody could, possibly. They had so many adventures. So anyway, thank you for coming. Gracie. Gracie used to ask me, and it's for a long time, she's been asking me, like, what are you going to say at my wedding? And I tell her, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to blubber like a 2-year-old. That's what I'm going to do. But somehow I think I'm going to make it because, you know, I don't feel like I'm losing Gracie. Because Gracie and I have always been friends. Mm-hmm. From the time she was a little girl, we'd drive around in the car and we'd have time together. And she'd be sitting there in the car next to me. She was like, she's like 6 inches out of the child seat, but now she could sit in the front. And we'd be driving around, and Gracie would be asking me questions. Like one thing after another. I wish I could remember exactly what the questions were. But what I realized then was that this was a little girl who was smart, and not only smart, but she was curious, and she was deep. And that's how it's been with Gracie, throughout her whole life. And one thing you have to know about Gracie, whatever she does, she throws herself into. 3 o'clock in the morning, when she's high school, 14 years old, in high school, 3 o'clock in the morning, I wake up and she's there in her bedroom reading her incredibly boring history textbook because she would not show up in school without being completely prepared, and that's how she still is. And as time has gone by, Gracie is always still asking questions because Gracie is somehow under the impression that I know everything, and if I don't know it, I'll make it up, right? So this works sometimes, and it's actually a wonderful thing. We exchange books, we talk about, everything. We're friends, and she mostly believes me, but she kind of thinks I'm full of malarkey. I'll give you an example. One time, this is a few years ago, Gracie was moved to the city, and I don't know how the subject came up, but the subject was how many city blocks in Chicago to a mile? Okay. Who said 6? Well, as anybody who grew up in Chicago knows, there's 8 city blocks to a mile, right? So somehow Gracie asked me the question. I said, yeah, there's 8 city blocks to a mile. You go from State Street to, you go from State Street to...
Come on, man.
Halsted, thank you.
Are you recording?
And, 8 blocks, and then Ashland, and then Western, and then Kedzie, and what, wrap it up? and Kedzie, and Pulaski, and Cicero, and, these are the streets I grew up with, right? And Gracie's response was, you don't know what you're talking about. So your son, did you or not? So despite all that, Gracie and I are the best of friends, and so I'm not feeling so terrible tonight because I know we'll always be friends. And then this guy came along. Now, everything that has been said about George and will always be said about George is true. But imagine, you're the dad, and you have to meet. You're never going to like the guy that your daughter likes, no matter what. And so I meet George finally after a little while, after being told that there's this guy around. And have you ever seen Pirates of the Caribbean? Because the first thing I notice about George is all that hair, and it's kind of tied in a top knot, or he's got a bandana on. And I'm like, who is this guy? But I got to know him, and so many things happened, and I think George really proved himself the time that I had food poisoning in his apartment. And I'm not going to say anything else about that, but it showed his character. And just like his brother said, he's considerate, he's caring. These are the important things. and he's got a great head on his shoulders, right? And he's got a lot of energy, and he speaks his mind when he has to. But he's always as kind can be. So I couldn't be happier. Johnny, shut up. Sit down. Sit down. And so, wait, you think I'm done? Sure, I am done. You don't have to edit me. So, one last thing. I want to raise a glass to Gracie and George.
Yay!
Long life, love, and happiness together.